know the decision, Chair. I told you in the morning. No, I'm saying, Chair, that in the interest of time, we actually, even though you excluded us from here unfairly, the thing was on YouTube and on 408, so you should have just allowed us to sit here. So we've been listening to everything. So I'm just sparing you all how difficult the decision was. We saw how difficult it was, very difficult. So we know, we were watching. That's why we came here. When Tim Ngosi was coming to fetch us, we were already at the door. Thank you.
You're out of order, Advocate Mpofu.
No, I'm trying to save you time.
I take that
Take your time.
On a lighter note. Thank you, Advocate Mpofu.
Fine.
Well, then the YouTube would have helped us, but what I will do, I will give you a very brief summary. Let me start saying that. And that we are going to, humanly possible also by tonight, to give you something in writing, in detail, formally, of the decision itself. But the decision of the committee, the committee has resolved that having listened to your presentation, written and orally, and the discussion that we got into as members, that the committee is of the view that the application for adjournment or postponement is declined by this committee, and that we want to endeavor, secondly, that having declined that, we want to proceed with our work of this committee, as I would have indicated in the morning in my opening remarks, and that we need to ensure that we make that backroom work as we go towards the issues of the way forward, both for what we do in the next day and the break of that 7 days, but also to, as you would have seen in the YouTube and listened to my summary, I would have noted, and let me also note that that decision would have had a version of a minority view that indicated that some parties would want, especially the EFF, to exercise an option of further seeking a legal opinion on the basis of not having much confidence on the parliamentary legal opinion. That is what Honorable Malemba is recording as an objection as part of the summary decision that I'm indicating. So that's our decision to both evidence leaders and the public protector team. As I've indicated, we will furnish you with the detailed reasons formally in writing in that regard. Thank you. Before I adjourn, any remarks, comments before I close the meeting? None.
No,
We mamele ku YouTube avuno here.
and noted.
Thank you, Advocate Mpofu. Advocate Bauer.
Chair, can we just sort out housekeeping tomorrow? We're going to start with a cross-examination of Mr. Jani and then go on to Mr. Van der Merwe.
Okay. Cross-examination, I have to look this side because that's everybody else would have been done by with Mr. Jani. Advocate Mpofu.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yeah. Yes. No, thank you. As I said, we have listened to some of the input. We have problems with the fact that some of the things that was said in our absence could have been said when we were here for the members who were making remarks about our own input when they had the chance to say it, and also the parliamentary advisors who were passing remarks about the input, which is also part of the unfairness. But be that as it may, Chair, there are also some factual issues which you don't want to get into that we heard being said about our own input. including the fact that we once went to court and asked for 12 prayers, which never happened, but that's fine. And also that those previous cases were done on the advice of the parliamentary advisors. We saw 2 senior counsels in court, but that's fine. There was just some factual inaccuracies, which if we were here, we would have corrected. Chairperson, as I indicated earlier, the decision really does not come as a surprise. So what we're going to do now, Chair, is just to explain, to revisit what we said to you in the morning, which was that the mandate, our mandate as the legal team was only to come here and do the application for the adjournment. And we made that clear in the letter we wrote to you on the 21st of October. And in the application we submitted on Monday and this morning as well. So that's it. What that means is that we are not able to take part in any of the further illegal activities, which would involve anything beyond the application, as we indicated this morning, of the adjournment, because to do so would be to acquiesce in participation in this committee as it is currently constituted. It's completely illegal. Your question was about cross-examination, and I think the answer therefore is that anything beyond the point of the application, even breathing after that point, would be an end of the illegal activities of this committee. And as I say, in any event, beyond the mandate that we were asked to perform today. So I'm afraid then, as far as the legal team is concerned, at least that will be as far as we can take it. And good luck. We'll see you again, maybe, or maybe not.
Let me do this then so that I get much clarity. So are you indicating that you are electing not to do cross-examination tomorrow? No, being part of the process of the evidence leaders leading evidence of the next witness. I need that to be clear. And is that what the public protector say?
No, the public protector will speak for herself. In fact, once I finish speaking here now, she can only speak for herself. As I said, my mandate, once my mandate comes to an end, I cannot speak for her. So if you don't mind, Chair, can you excuse us, the legal team, and then maybe you can ask those questions from the public protector.
Okay. Do you want to ask something?
Chair, sorry, Advocate Mpofu, sorry, my apologies. I don't.
No, fine. You can talk to me as a colleague.
Unduly detain you. You are in instruction and brief from Senegal attorneys. Can I just understand, are you withdrawing as counsel, or is Senegal attorneys withdrawing as attorneys? Or can I just, or do you prefer that I ask that question of the public protector?
Yeah, you can ask whatever you want to ask. I'm done.
Okay. Advocate Mpofu is withdrawn. Release him.
Thank you.
Ngena chairperson kwenzekani
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Kala
colleagues.
mine.
I'm now going to invite the public protector. Tomorrow we're planned to continue with the cross-examination of Mr. Jani. Your legal team has just indicated that you would have given them a mandate that they must leave. And tomorrow we're planning to proceed.
No, on a point of order, Chair. On a point of order. On a point of order, Chair. Point of order, Chair.
Public protector. What is the point of order?
The point of order is that you are distorting what the legal team of the public protector said. They never said she instructed them to withdraw. They never said that. They said, as far as they are concerned, that's where their mandate ends. So why do you say to her, she has been given a illegal team instruction to withdraw? They never said that.
Thank you, Honorable Malema. If that's your point of order, that point of order is not sustained because the senior counsel would have been working with the attorneys of the public protector. So the issue of the mandate has a source. And I'm now trying to verify issues with the public protector who accounts to this committee. Because I'm trying to indicate to her the work that we want to proceed to do. But maybe before I proceed, Advocate Bauer, you want to come in?
Yes, Chair. My apologies for interrupting, but before we proceed with the work, and maybe if the public protector doesn't mind me asking the question directly, as in ordinary parlance, legal counsel get their mandate from an attorney. An attorney is the only person who could terminate the mandate on an instruction from the client. In this case, the client is the public protector. And so I just want clarity as to whether the public protector had given Sienego an instruction to terminate her counsel's mandate. Thank you.
No, thank you, Advocate Bauer. I was in my own way going there, but I think you've...
Sorry, Chair, there's a second question to that because the attorney from Sienego also walked out. So the second question to that is whether the public protector then also terminated the mandate of Sienego.
Thank you, Advocate Bauer. Public protector?
Yeah, that's law 101. It does not need shouting. Just need reasoning. Thank you.
Nah, there's no shouting when a man. You are suffering from
Shouting.
Honorable Mola. Honorable Mola.
Mola, you're out of order. You're out of order.
The mind of a peanut. A mind the size of a rat spoopoo. That's what you're suffering from.
You are suffering from a mind of a cockroach. Yourself.
The cockroach has got no mind. That's why you don't know that
you are a cockroach.
Mind. You and the cockroach are the same. You are a small boy who has nothing to show in the history of politics except opportunism. You are here because you are hungry. You have nothing to offer. Poverty brought you here.
Honorable Malema, are you done?
Why are you not asking your colleague if it's done? I'm not your member. I'm not your member. Don't think I'm a member of the ANC. Why are you not asking your member if he's done? Because he's the one who spoke nonsense here. Why are you not asking him? Don't confuse me for your members. No, man. Don't do that.
Honorable Malema.
Yes, sir.
Am I addressing you? Do not mute, Honorable Malema. I'm addressing you.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You are using unparliamentary language in this inquiry session. I would want you to withdraw that.
Withdraw what? Okay. Withdraw what? Which one is unparliamentary?
You can't refer, both of you, and I'm going to address both of you. You can't
So why not starting-
refer to
why
a
not
member
starting
in
with the
the
one who
language
started?
that you have just used.
Okay, why not starting with the one who started? Why not starting with him? You are starting with me because I'm not a member of the ANC. That members of the ANC
I
are
don't
going to
even
be
know who
different
started,
from
but
all of us.
I'm speaking to you now, and I'll address both of you.
Start with him. Why not start? It's him who started. Start with him.
Honorable Malema, I don't think that that's how we work in Parliament, that you must indicate to the presiding officer where the presiding officer and what he or she must do.
No,
I'm
but Chair, you are
asking
being
you,
unfair. You are being
Malema,
unfair.
language
It's
that
Ngola
you're
who
using
started with cockroaches there.
parliamentary.
Chair, you are out of order yourself. It's Ngola who started with cockroaches. It's him.
I've not recognized you, Honorable Mautwe. I will come back
to
the
say,
Honorable
please be
Mo-
fair. You are
So
unfair. I'm asking you. Please, let's
I've
continue.
had you doing exchanges with Honorable Malema using an unparliamentary language of cockroaches. You're
Chair,
on the platform now.
Chair, I rose and said that is law 101. It does not need any shouting. I did not refer to anyone in the committee, nor even outside this committee. I just passed a remark. It is when Honorable Malema shouted at me and said a lot of things when I retaliated. But Chair, for the sake of progress, I withdraw unconditionally. Thank you very much.
What are you withdrawing the words? Which words did you use?
The cockroaches words, Chair, I withdraw unconditionally.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for withdrawing that. Honorable Malema,
Yes.
I have heard you using also unparliamentary language in your exchange with Honorable Ngola. I would like you to withdraw that.
Which one? You may not like what I said, but which one is unparliamentary? Which one?
Lady poverty.
Huh?
Rats, poverty, cockroaches, that.
No, I said he was brought by poverty into this thing. He has got no conviction of his own. How is that unparliamentary?
Honorable Malema, I'm asking that you withdraw in the same way I've done with Honorable Ngola.
Okay, I withdraw. I want to hear public protector. I'm withdrawing.
Thank you, Honorable Malema. You can remove your hand, Honorable Ngola. Thank you.
And please,
Apologies for that, Public Protector.
Chair, please tell Ngola not to just speak without being recognized. Please.
I now have the Public Protector on the platform.
Thank you.
Because I've recognized her. The Public Protector.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, honorable members. I think for correction, Chair, I didn't say, or I didn't give a mandate to my legal team to. Yes. So I think that's what they've discussed with the attorneys, and for now, I'm not in a position to. I'll have to discuss with them because we didn't discuss the continuation of the process, because the issue was for them to apply for this process. So I will have to go back and discuss with them, or alternatively, if they decide to withdraw, especially the attorney of record, then I'll have to find a way of finding an attorney who will have to proceed with the matter, or as well alternatively convince the current legal team.
That's, I hope the response helps Advocate Bauer that there's no mandate to terminate the attorneys.
No, well, Mr. Advocate Mpofu's words was his mandate has been terminated. In other words, he doesn't have a mandate beyond these proceedings. Advocate Mpofu and his legal team was engaged to represent Advocate Mkabani through the Section 194 process, as was Senego attorneys. but Sianego attorneys also walked out. So there is authority in the courts, which I don't want to get embroiled in giving the committee legal advice, but I would suggest that your legal advisor go and look at what the position is in respect of when legal representatives walk out of proceedings and what the consequences are for hearings. I'm not giving the committee legal advice. That's not my role as an evidence leader. And I think
Chair.
Okay. I see now a couple of hands. I'll start with Honorable Malema, Maneli, Mananiso, and Chabalala and Skosana.
Yes, Chairperson, I think that there are two issues I want to raise. One is that the public protector gave the response she gave, and she's entitled to a legal representatives. And this put these proceedings to an end, and then you can decide when and how we're going to meet so that she can do her consultations and maybe find a new legal representatives or anything of that sort, or convince the same people to come, because she hasn't been privy to that type of an action that we have observed. But the second thing, Chair, is that because you have decided to proceed with this committee, depending on your ruling, we are considering withdrawing as well as the EFF, because we don't think that we should take these matters light. The advocate said we're engaged in an illegal process and therefore they are unable to proceed with engagement in the illegal process. And I said earlier, we're asking for adjournment to go and consult our legal team so that we see how we proceed with these matters. That matter is not being even considered by so-called colleagues, that when the other colleague says, can we be given an opportunity to look into these matters so that we are confidently moving at the same level and speed? No, we're being brushed off like that. So I think that she's entitled to a legal representative and we must allow her. And if you insist on proceeding, we're also going to withdraw from this process. Thanks.
Thank you, Honorable Malema. Honorable Olomisa.
Thank you, Chairperson. Honorable Malema has like to say, but for now, what I would suggest,
we're losing
a
you.
meeting between
You cut, we did not
Hello?
hear. Please repeat.
I would suggest that you postpone this sitting today, subject to the evidence leader and the office of the public protector, the public protector rather, ironing out this and what would be the way forward as from tomorrow. At least by tomorrow when we meet, you should be in a position to tell us and the country as to where the process is. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Olomisa. Honorable Nkosi.
No, Chair, I think that what has happened is unfortunate. I, however, think that yourselves as chair, in terms of the directives, now have the opportunity to give direction as to what should happen. Firstly, we should recognize that the public protector has, as per decision of the CC, the right to have legal representation. We can't depart from that, and we must respect that at all times. And two, in that regard, that she be afforded an opportunity to indicate to yourself what her next steps should be, and that would require that you engage with her, and that engagement should, in my opinion, be given space to take effect. Thirdly, that without taking advice from the the evidence leaders, but that we ask what the implications of the withdrawal are from our legal team. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ngosi. Honorable Suela.
Thank you, Chairperson. I think Honorable Ngosi has covered me because, Chair, we need to seek advice from our legal team because this has just happened. And we have got our program, which we are saying we are proceeding. And I believe you will have to engage with advocate, the PP, since she's saying she didn't mandate them to withdraw. She's still going to consult. But for me, I believe that should happen urgently so that we proceed with the program. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Klape, followed by Nola.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I would also submit that this was unexpected and unfortunate. We stop here so that we don't speculate. You retreat to the back room with the legal team, evidence leader, and the public protector. And tomorrow you should be able to give us a way forward so that we don't cloud this with many ideas of what if or what could happen. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I think Honorable Ngola.
Thank you, Chair. I think I agree with a lot of submissions, except to equally submit that why can't we maybe allow them that they should not come to the committee tomorrow so that they sort their own things out. Because I'm worried they were supposed to have started with a cross-examination, and by the look of things and by the material conditions, it does not seem like there will be. I'm not sure, Chair, if it won't derail us more if we give them even tomorrow to sort their issues out. Thank you.
It's fine. I think I have a sense of the summary. Honorable Maneli, because you have raised your hand, if you want to withdraw, it's fine. Honorable Maneli and then Skosana. Or maybe before that, Advocate Bauer.
We have remained silent when the issue came up before the committee about the evidence leaders meeting in the back room with the representatives of the public protector when the committee was talking about it earlier on. We don't have a mandate from the committee of any sort to enter into any sort of arrangements with the public protector, which would be an antithesis or in contravention of a decision that the committee has already taken. So for me to go into a back room with the legal team of the public protector, I wouldn't know where my authority comes from to make any deal with them, which is different to a decision taken from this committee. I don't mean any disrespect to the suggestion made, but I do think I must clarify that from our position, we wouldn't know what we're entitled to agree to and what we wouldn't be entitled to agree to. And we could, and we wouldn't want to do that with the public protector on our own. And it doesn't seem to be clear whether the instructing attorney has withdrawn from the matter. I'm not sure about what the rules are about counsel out of their own withdrawing from a mandate, but it wasn't quite clear how this occurs. But be that as it may, I have great reservations about it being left to us as evidence leaders to make arrangements for the public protector's legal team.
Sure. That's fine. I thought the suggestion but let me hear you because we will have to go back to the legal services team. Maneli?
No, thank you, Chair. I think the first point is really to once again emphasize that on the basis of the submission, there's already a decision. And that decision is to proceed. And I think the point was to really look at how you operationalize that decision. And at this point, we are faced with the practicality that there is something that has happened. I think Honorable Ngola says it, that the material conditions are now dictating to us what needs to be done. And we can't keep that shape that we had because there's this reality. And the understanding, Chair, was that the backroom discussion, it's about the operationalization of that decision. And it may be also an opportune moment, Chair, to consider all the points that have been raised, including what you would have recognized as minority submission, if that's what you would want to call it. That an opportunity to have that discussion and creating space that all these other matters could take place, including in a situation where, as the court would have discussed and agreed, if you need an opinion on the matter, you still have space to do that in such a period. So that when you convene, I think that's the set South Africans may want to get, is that once we reconvene, and whether you get to cross-examination and all that, firstly, an opportunity would have been given to the public protector to indicate or elect on how should participate, because again, even the legal provision, it's really a point for her to exercise. And that will be what she would elect to look at, whether that's the route to go or not. But even at this point, Chair, if we're to take what has been presented to us, there's still gonna be clarity in another backroom, which is the PP's backroom, whether there is a withdrawal or not, and whether there was a misunderstanding probably of what she would have instructed or not instructed. So I just thought that it's important that we do not get to a point where we think there's no decision. That decision has been there. It's the operationalization. Now there are new developments, and in that score, I don't think even the evidence leaders will be launched in this case, because the chair person, as per the committee discussion, coordinates that engagement and who has got full understanding of where the committee comes from in terms of such a discussion, which makes it indeed what Honorable Ngola puts up to be important, that looking at the time now, it may be important to look at using tomorrow to still get this ironed out than to meet just to get a sense that there are still discussions. Otherwise, we are going to meet, stop, and it may cast some doubt on whether we want to proceed or not when we have decided that we are proceeding. Thank you.
No, thank you. Maybe I think I won't go to other members at this stage. Is to take the advice of Honorable Jape that will retreat. I'll remain here as a chair and the team with the public protector. Members can leave knowing that tomorrow's meeting is still standing unless there's further notice. We're not going to get into that discussion now. So you have to leave here knowing that tomorrow's meeting as scheduled still stands until advised otherwise. Okay? So that we clarify, we retreat as suggested properly and clarify the matters. Is that in order, Namadzinga and Skosana, because you had your last two hands up, but that's what I want to roll on. Honorable Skosana.
Yeah, no, thanks, Chair. No, I hear your ruling, However, just to make one point, I think we must also make sure that we are not being unfair to the witnesses who are supposed to appear before the committee. You've got Mr. Jane and Mr. Niels van der Merwe, who are always on half cash. They always come. We don't deal with them. We deal with other matters. Another date has been set. They always come, you see. So if you say the meeting tomorrow continues, if it happens that the meeting doesn't continue, they have to make arrangement to be in the meeting, then the meeting doesn't continue. Or the meeting does continue, but we don't deal with their evidence. So I think it also becomes unfair on their part because there's always uncertainty as to whether are they going to give evidence or not, are they going to be cross-questioned or not. So, my view, I was aligning myself with Honorable Maneli.
Just let me stop you there because I don't want us to get into that discussion.
All right.
I thought I must give you because you have raised your hand.
All right.
So that you allow us to deal with all of those issues you're raising instead of having them ventilated here in this forum. Honorable Chavala.
No, Chair, in exactly what you just mentioned now, as much as a member had many questions that I also wanted to pose to the PP on the proceedings. However, I'm going to respect the fact that, you look into the rules, 164, it speaks about interruption, suspension, or adjournment. So that we're on record in a way how the chair then adjourns the meeting. Then it's on record. B speaks about you may change the date for the resumption of business, provided reasonable notice is given. And I think that's what Honorable Skosana is trying to raise. I just thought that at least when you close it, there is something that gives us on record, even though I was kind of worried with what Advocate Bauer said when she said they don't have mandate to do the back room outside. So those are the things, but let's leave it at that, Chairperson, and trust you that you will consider all these matters. But when you need the committee as a matter of urgency, so that we are able to deliver these matters and ask questions, please let's do so. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Sokazi, the last one.
Yes, Chair. My question really touches on what the evidence leaders indicated. We are not clear on what the current conditions are. And I am not sure now if that is being determined offline between yourself, the evidence leader, and the public protector, because it is this committee that needs to make a decision. So the conditions needs to be clear to us as well, whether the public protector is without legal representation and on the basis of what that legal representation has now left. Because this is an oversight body. The public protector is accountable to this parliament. And we cannot get this process to be delayed. The conditions are still the same. I think the honorable member has now indicated that. The conditions are exactly the same. This committee has decided to proceed. And the committee has deliberated on that. So the basis of this current interruption then, the conditions, on what basis we need to know what that is. Does the public protector, and it needs to be timelined. We cannot come tomorrow. There is not only the rights of the public protector, there is the rights of witnesses. There is the obligation of this committee that needs to be considered. And we cannot be in a position where we have a delay that is on the basis of a technicality. So we need to know what Advocate Bauer has indicated. What are the conditions currently in terms of legal representation for the public protector? Because that will indicate to us how we proceed, and it must be timelined.
Effectively, what are you suggesting, Honorable Sukas?
Richard, I didn't hear.
Effectively, what are you suggesting?
What I'm asking is if the public protector can answer us and tell us now, what are the conditions that her team has left? What have been communicated to her so that we know whether she is proceeding with her current legal representation, representatives, or is she without representatives? Because certainly there must have been communication between the public protector and a legal representative, both of which were here.
On a point of order, Chair.
Responded to that.
No,
Point of
it is
order,
not
Chair.
clear to me. What has been communicated
Okay.
was, yes.
All right. Let me know.
On a point
please.
of order, Chair.
Public protector.
No, on a point of order, Chair.
Public protector.
Point of order, Chair. Point of order.
Point of order.
Chair,
Point of
you
order.
asked the public protector what is the situation. She answered you. What more do you want from her? She answered you. This is the
On a
same
point of
question you
order,
asked.
Chairperson,
public
I'm not
protector.
speaking to Mr. Malema.
Who said you are speaking to me? Who said you are speaking to me? Am I interested in speaking to you? I wouldn't be interested to speak
And
to
I
a
would
person
not be
like you.
insulted
I'm
either.
speaking to a chair. I'm not speaking to you. Don't speak to a type. I'm not speaking to you. Chair, I'm not speaking to her. I'm speaking to you. So you asked the public protector that question. She answered. She's going to find out. She's going to speak to the legal representatives, and she'll be able to advise once she has had a conversation with the legal team. What more do you want from her? She's entitled to have a legal representative. Wanting to speak to her without a legal representative is an attempt to want to cross-examine her without a legal representative. It's wrong. It's illegal.
Okay. And Honorable Malema, Honorable Lagut.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson. I think you gave us some marching orders by saying that you'll release this committee and you'll sit behind so that you discuss whatever you will be discussing as the chairperson of this committee, if I heard you correctly. So I would suggest that you do that, chairperson. Then communication will come to us as members of parliament as to what is the way forward from now onwards. We cannot keep on going around on circles. Thanks, Chair.
Okay. That's what I would have suggested, members. So that you, okay, public protector.
No, I wanted to clarify, Chairperson, that what I said is I cannot proceed without my legal team, and not to say we discussed this because I think everybody heard there's a recording that they will just end it for today here because they said they cannot proceed with this illegal process. So I would ask that, I don't know, but you said you would want possibly for us to discuss. So I don't know, how do I discuss without my legal representation, which is a constitutional right, which the court said I should be having. So hence I am saying I'll have to discuss with them whether, and even including the attorney. Indeed, we know that the attorney briefs the council, and I have to decide the legal team of my choice. So, and they didn't even say they are terminating. I must find out from them, are they willing to proceed with me, or then, Chairperson, I'll have to start afresh and get a new legal team. And if I get a new legal team, that's another challenge because then it might delay the whole process because the new legal team must start afresh and go through all the evidence. So I would want to be given an opportunity to engage with them because I don't know why this came out the way it did. But anyway, it's in your hands, Chairperson.
Chair, sorry, I apologize for my ignorance. Do I understand the public protector to say that you were completely taken aback by them leaving today?
Again, on a point of order, Chair. On a point of order.
I will have to answer you as the evidence leader. What I'm saying is, Ms. Sukras was saying, what did they say? I'm saying we didn't discuss such issues. We were discussing what we came here for, the documents, the presentation. So we didn't discuss the way forward, because I thought as well we will be moving with the program. Hence, I'm saying for now I'll have to get the details. What is happening? What is the plan of action and that.
On a point of order, Chair. Point of order.
Honorable Klape and Nodada.
Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the reason why I said we must stop here and you retreat with your team, legal team, and the public protector was for the very same fact, or let's not ventilate all this here and like we are cross-examining the public protector now. Let's allow you to go and find out all these issues from her. Tomorrow morning, you would have arranged everything that needed to be arranged and have more information for us as committee members. So I still stand with the fact that let's stop here as members of committee, as we have indicated, and allow you to go and find out everything. Then let's receive that report tomorrow as the meeting is continuing tomorrow. Thanks.
Nodada. Thank you, Honorable Klape.
Chairperson, I think it's very important for us you must be able to take the clarities from members of this committee in whatever form it comes from, because we individually need to get an understanding as to what is going on. Now, from my understanding, from what the public protector has responded and said to us, is one, she did not know that the legal counsel, and I obviously want to best understand this so that we know how to deal with this moving forward. She did not know whether her legal counsel or not would, leave her at this point, and she doesn't know whether or not she will still be utilizing the same legal counsel. And therefore, she's requesting two things. One, either to engage her current legal counsel that she says to us she did not know was going to leave what she terms now, quote unquote, illegal process. And then the second thing is to say, well, if they don't agree, then I'll have to go and find, a legal team that needs to be briefed and so on and so on and so on. Now, Chair, I hear what others are saying in terms of, engage the public protector and so on. She just indicated to all of us now that she doesn't understand what she'll be engaging with you and the evidence leaders without her legal team with her. So I think it's important for us, Chair, to understand what is going on as a committee and set a decision or a resolution of the committee as to what must happen moving forward. Because the public protector has a right to have legal representation, and we must give a specified timeline as to when that can be sorted out, so that we continue with the program that has been resolved by this committee to continue with. And I think it's important to understand those clarities. There mustn't be members that are curtailed to ask questions, as Honorable Sukras has tried to ask her own questions, so that we have a full understanding as all the stakeholders that are involved in this process, so that we know how to advise to proceed, even to you as a chairperson. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's round it off now, members, so that I can wrap up the meeting. Honorable Malema and Nkosi.
Thank you, Chair. No. I don't know why you allow the evidence leader to do what she's doing. Because at the point where we are, she has got no room. There's no any evidence that is being led now. We are having a discussion as members of parliament on how we're going to proceed. Now, you leave it to ask the public protector the questions, Chair. Please protect the public protector. Her legal team is not there. Don't engage in unconstitutional things. Where does she get the right to ask public protector questions? We're doing exactly that. We are trying to find a way out of this situation. And then she asks a public protector a question as if we're leading any evidence. Her role is to lead evidence, and no evidence is being led here. She must respect us.
Thank you, Honorable Malema. Ngosi, you're the last one. Oh, Judith.
Yeah, Chair, I think perhaps what we should do is, if members feel we should have a discussion on this issue, one, that we should excuse both the evidence leaders and the public protector, and continue with the meeting to discuss the next steps on our side as an oversight committee. In other words, what steps are we going to take to address this issue? But that will depend on your summary, because I think every time you summarize, we come back, etc., and it creates a problem. Perhaps just to follow your precedent for today, excuse them, and then discuss the way forward with yourselves, and take forward the suggestions that may have been made. Chair.
You clearly are not in a mood to allow us to prepare even for that. Nemadzinga?
Ndoribu Chairperson, like when I said, when you concluded and we kind of were agreeing with yourself with the adjournment of today's proceedings. However, the issue that we are then as MPs, we've taken a decision to proceed with the proceedings. That's the first thing. Now, the second part comes in that it hampers now on our proceedings that which has happened currently. Therefore, it means that then you need to give yourself time to be able to deal with that which you need as part of your proceedings. Now, public protector is not in a position clearly because you don't want to prejudice her from her legal reputation as a right. She just said to us that she has to consult with her counsel and lawyers so that she can understand. But clearly then means that she needs to be in a position perhaps to respond to the committee. And my suggestion will be that we still go back to what we agreed when Honorable Thambe made the submission to adjourn, but secondly, Chair, to allow her the opportunity to be able to deal with that process of herself with the legal team. And perhaps what you can say, then she can also be able to confer with the committee section when she is ready. However, as we said, there's issues of timelines. That the rules empowers you to be in a position to get the timelines that is reasonable for that process to happen. And I think that's where we are, Chair, because if we were to want to deliver this issue, I'm afraid that we might find and put ourselves in a situation where we don't want to find ourselves. But I think the Chair is correct in your posture and what you said. However, the only thing that you are taking out is to have the backroom discussion. Perhaps that is something that we are saying, Chair, your consideration on the backroom, also on the issue of the meeting proceeding tomorrow, Honorable Deputy Chief Whip, that it might not be at this point. So we will leave that administrative matters to yourself, Chairperson, to ensure that you adhere to the rules. You give us within reasonable time the date where we're going to resume. Because it doesn't take away from the decision. We're still resuming with the process. However, you give the public protector a chance to be able to do that. So the rest of the administrative, we need to leave them to you in terms of time frame. When are you calling us back? Where the matter between yourself or your committee and the public protector would have been dealt with so that we can continue with the cross-examination. The colleagues who are coming tomorrow, they need to be communicated on time in terms of the suspension. Not suspension is not a good word, but the pause of the process. It's a pausing. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, members. I think, members, what would help is that let's go back to this point that retreat for tonight. The time that is set for a meeting tomorrow is still that time, whatever nature of that meeting. because it would help that we go to that meeting with matters much better clarified than wanting to continue now with us not doing any kind of groundwork. It really would not assist. So I think you just need to take a step back and retreat, and we'll continue to do our work, and so we'll indicate. So for tomorrow, in terms of the meeting, you would come back and give also us a proper direction, but we're going to do the work to clarify a number of things that can't be clarified in a meeting like this. I don't think it really would work, no matter how strong we feel about getting this particular answer and that answer. It's not going to work, and I think the reality is pointing to that. So we have tonight to just rethink about how we proceed tomorrow. But I want you to leave here knowing that the meeting has not been changed for tomorrow. Can we leave it at that, colleagues?
Yeah, thanks, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members on the virtual platform. The meeting is adjourned for now. I'll see you tomorrow.
A long leave, Chairperson.
Recording stopped.
Yebo.
Sorry, guys, I have to run into a meeting. Kaji, we'll talk soon. Maybe we can set up as tomorrow or on the weekend. Kaji, I love you.
Love you. Good luck. I'm sorry, everybody, but we'll speak soon.